Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Saxe. I'm Deborah Gordan and this is September the 4th, 2022 already. So if we'll just take a moment please and relax together, just breathe. Let's just shake off the morning, shake off the week, and breathe. Let's fill our lungs with that fresh new breath of the brand new day, the unwritten page. Occupy your chair. Relax into it. And with every out breath, again, just letting go of any roles, any responsibilities, anything that you just don't need to be concerned about in this moment. And let's breathe in that breath that is life itself. That air going where it needs to go in your body for the highest good of this body. And let's allow that to be true of your spirit as well, that with each breath you are affirming that you are taking in what life has to offer and making the best use of it. And you don't have to direct it all. It knows where to go. It knows where to be to your highest good. And so you feel that peace settle in your gut and in your heart. And then with each in-breath, you're feeling that revitalization, the healing, the refilling. And you feel a little more energy come. And it's not nervous energy. It's not caffeine. It is enthusiasm. It is appreciation. It is gratitude. It is excitement. It is delight. And with each out breath, just letting go of anything unlike that. So we thank you, Mother, Father, God. We thank you, highest self, for attuning with this. We thank you for this beloved group, present and online. And we open to hearing what we need to hear, feeling what we need to feel, and being what we need to be. And we let it be so. Thank you, God. So together, This is from Everlasting Peace, which is actually a publication that came out in the 60s. It was kind of obscure, from the Brotherhood of Followers of the Present Jesus. There's some lovely excerpts in here. If you will seek deep within yourself your true purpose, tune into it and it alone, and let it formulate your life upon a central theme. Life for you will be a simple thing, and you will know the peace that God intends for you. Every person on this earth is here for one purpose above all others. For this is true concentration, and the universal presence is everywhere, truly concentrated and individually concentrated within you. Each of you has one true purpose for living this life upon the earth. Pray to see this revealed. Look for this. Even the looking will simplify your life. As this is shown you, place this at the center of your life that all things may relate to it. Keep it in the center of your mind, for it itself will create your life around it, and it itself will fill your hours easily without crowding. You live in eternity, and many things are future purposes of yours, which if you concentrate upon them now will merely confuse your true present purpose. Live in your present purpose, lest you prolong its fulfillment unnecessarily.
Good morning, everybody. I just love the way everything just ties together so beautifully. Tess talked about breathing and where it's going and all that, and I'm just telling you, dad's something else. Today's inspirational moment is from Science of Mind, and the word is law. The law of the Lord is perfect, and the law of the Lord is love. You are made perfect in the law when you enter into conscious communications with love. It is only through love that the law can fulfill itself in your experiences, because love harmonizes everything, unifies everything. You can never make the most perfect use of the law of your life unless that is used in motivated by love. As the artist imbibes the essence of beauty, so you must drink in the love all around you. You must imbibe its spirit. This love is more than a sentiment. It is a deep sense of the underlying unity, beauty, and majesty of all life, the goodness running through everything, the givingness of life to everything. Say today, I bestow the essence of love upon everything. Everyone shall be lovely to me. My soul meets the soul of the universe in everyone. Everything is beautiful. Everything is meaningful. This love is a healing power touching everything into wholeness, healing the wounds of the experiences within its divine balm. And our affirmation for today, please repeat with me 3 times. I bestow the essence of love upon everything. I bestow the essence of love upon everything. I bestow the essence of love upon everything. Thank you so much, guys. Love y'all.
Good morning. My name is Candy Williams, and I'm so happy to be here this morning. I'm so glad that you are here this morning. Thank you for that. Applause to you. And would you please send some love to the beautiful and talented Stefan Carlson? It occurred to us as we were talking that the songs that were chosen today fit pretty well with Labor Day. It just depends on how you look at it, you know? Yeah. And so we're going to do a little something from St. James Taylor. And here it goes. The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. Any fool can do it. There ain't nothing to it. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. Oh, but since we're on our way down, we might as well enjoy the ride. Well, the secret of love is in opening up your heart. It's okay to feel afraid, but don't let that stand in your way, oh no, no. 'Cause everyone knows that love is the only road. And since we're only here for a while, we might as well show some style. Give us a smile, oh yeah. It's just a lovely ride. Sliding down and gliding down. And try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. The secret of time is that time isn't really real. It's just your point of view. Now, how does it seem to you out there? You know, Einstein said we could never understand it all. Oh, the planets spinning through space, the smile upon your face. Welcome to the human race, yeah. It's just a lovely ride, sliding down and gliding down. And try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. And oh, it's a lovely ride. And we're sliding down and gliding down. Try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. Oh, it's just a lovely ride. The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time.
Excellent. You have no idea. Well, and it continues. I love it. Okay, so if you'll breathe again with me. So funny test. Okay, breath is apparently the thing of the day, one of them. One of them. So breathing. okay? Taking a nice deep breath, right? What is like one of the first things? You just have to be present, right? We don't have to consciously think of breathing, but when we do, we find it very centering in the now. Now, if I said to you, can you breathe for yesterday when you were having a cold and you were having trouble breathing? Can you breathe and send it back there? No, it doesn't work that way. You know, can I store it up for the future when I may need to catch my breath? No, it's a now thing. It can only be done in the now. And I think it's an example of the way life works, right? I think we're wired. It's so. I was looking at Einstein quotes on time, and it's right there in the song. And even didn't it say Einstein? Am I out of my mind? Okay, this is lovely. So the thing is, you would think someone was in charge. Pretty cool. So I'm thinking of how we're wired as the animal beings that we are. And I think the past, we remember the past because it informs us on how to survive. We learn, okay, don't go there, don't do that. Oh, do go there and you'll get food. So the past informs us how to stay safe, how to stay healthy. The past informs us. Okay, that's the beauty of the past. But today is the only time that I have to do anything. I can't live in the future. I can point my nose in the right direction. It's perfectly okay to plan, but to stay open and flexible, of course, within that, right? The future, the ability to think into the future is to say, yes, and, last year, at this season, when we went here, we found food, we found water. Again, the way are we wired, right? Our very basic nature to know, to have an instinct of where to go next, of what to do next. There is that planning capability. It's important that we have that ability. And if we can stay flexible, because maybe storms came this year, right? And I'm just getting very basic, like just our basic nature, right? Maybe storms came this year and we had to detour and we had to be flexible. And then that goes into our store of knowledge. Oh, when there's a storm, there's a better route for me to take. And it goes into our store of knowledge. Healing happens in the now. Healing. So all that stuff that wasn't so fun, right, that happened, I can't go back and change that, but I can change how I feel about it. I can't change the fact that maybe I got sick and I needed a surgery or got sick and had an illness, but in the present day, I can love my body and do what it needs to do, give it rest, give it what it's asking for. That's a now thing. That's a now activity. And to forgive myself for getting off track. You know, you might berate yourself if you get lost, but that hopefully does not last long. And, you know, it'd be great if you didn't, but hopefully if you go, oh man, I turned around, you know, that's it. The next thought is, how do I get back on track? Let's recalibrate here. I'm not facing the direction I want to go, so what do I need to get back on track? And let it be that simple, because the judgment is a waste of time and just adds more baggage to what we need to heal. So healing is in the present moment, healing of the body, healing of the mind, healing of the spirit, going back to listening as we've talked about many times, being able to tune in and say, what is my body asking for at this time? But what are my emotions asking for at this time? If I feel ruffled and I feel disturbed, what can I do? I do have some control over that. I don't have control over a lot of things going on out here. And even some of the things going on in here that may be instinctive, like type of reactions, right? But what do I have control over? I had a wonderful boss that used to say, control your controllables. You know, if you just focus like that excerpt, if we just keep it as simple as we can, focus on what we know is most important and is the central theme, we will fill our time with things that will promote us and get us faster where we want to go. It's very rare that we are so rooted in the now. You know, we're either upset about that or thinking, oh, now I need to do this, right? So to truly be present in this moment, to see the beauty around us, to truly take the time to be present, and that is the expansion, that is the place to expand in. We can't wait for the right moment. The moment's now. I had a friend that said, this is it. It doesn't get any itter than this. This is it. You know, I love that. I've used that many times in my own thinking. It's like, if I keep putting on the back burner what I'm going to do when I retire, what I'm going to do when I have this amount of money, or what I'm going to do when I have this amount of time, or what I'm going to do when I have, can we recenter, recalibrate, listen in, and say, what would really feed my spirit? And is there a way to do that? Is there a way to get a taste of that? That maybe it isn't that particular place that I need to travel to so much as what is it I love about that I might be able to give myself today? You know, I may fantasize about going to museums in Europe, but do I go to my local museum and see the beautiful artwork and let it feed me? You know, I can get a taste of that. The feeling I'm after is available to me. The feeling that I'm after. And we tend to get, I think it may be partly just how we're wired, we tend to become jaded to the beauty around us, or we acknowledge it. It's like, how many times have we been in this room now? You guys might be different because you are really amazing people. But I would guess that those who have never been in this room before walked in, and you can look at these beautiful lights, and you can look at this gorgeous table, and you're like, oh, that's really pretty. And did we notice that when we came in? I do, because of what I'm talking about, but I kind of knew where I was going with that. So, but my point is, it's always there. And the way you surround, the way you set up your house, hopefully, is by the things that lift your spirit. It can't just be utilitarian. It has to be things that when you look at it, you go, I'm home, because this feels like me, this looks like me. And I can be present here, and I can let go here. And it's not about that old thing, right? And have you ever, a wonderful, Alan Cohen, wonderful teacher. A lady in a workshop that I attended was there, and she said, Alan, I get so wound up talking about worries, about the past and about frets and fears, okay? She says, I get so wound up about my little child, and if he even gets a cold, I'm so anxious, I'm so fearful. And he said, well, you know, do you have a girlfriend nearby? Oh yeah, you know, Carolyn's like right around the corner. Yeah, does she have children? Yes. If Carolyn told you her child had a cold, what would you think about it? I guess not that much, would I? No, I wouldn't worry. I'd feel like, I'd ask how she was, but I'd feel like she was going to get over it. It's all perspective, isn't it? And so, again, and with fears and in the past, if you look back in the past and you say, okay, let me say this differently, sorry. If I'm here today and I'm having a terrific day, and someone says, well, what kind of life have you had? You know, just generally speaking, well, it's pretty good. You know, I had my ups and downs, but overall, you know what? Pretty good day, pretty good life. But if I'm having a really rough day, and I look back at the past, and I'll go, man, this has been tough. Why did all that have to happen to me, right? My past didn't change. My perspective changed, right? My point being, in the now, we can't change the past, but we can change how we feel about it. We can change perspective. We can give new information to ourselves, like maybe you learned something that happened in your father's childhood that informed the way that he treated the family. Suddenly you might get new information, and suddenly, oh, okay, now it makes sense, and it makes it easier to forgive him. But what if you never know those things? What if you never know those things? But there's some part of you that in your wisdom can say, okay, I get, he had his stuff. He had his stuff, some of which I will never, ever know. And can I just let go of that and know it wasn't about me? And it's not what happens to us, it's what we choose to do with it. How many times side by side do you hear stories of people who have had similar paths? And one shoots off and goes to Harvard and one you know what I mean? It's like it's not what happens to you, it's what we choose to do with it. And there's a consciousness and a choice that we make every day about where are we dwelling? Where are we spending most of our time? Right? And so that's what creates that consciousness, is where are we spending our time? In what energy? In what way are we treating our body consistently? And they say it's not, the climate. It's not the fact that you can live in a good climate and a storm can come through. You can have a good consciousness and have a bad day. Okay, but it's what do you do consistently that creates that consciousness that you put out into the world and that you live in. It's not just what you're putting out, it's where you're living and what you are experiencing. I can sit side by side with someone at a concert and I can be in bliss because I love that music. And they can sit there and be bored out of their mind because it's not their music. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not about what happens out there. It's how can we experience this? And can I open my mind a little and go, not my music, but, wow, look at these faces around me. Isn't it cool that all these people can be touched like this? Can I feel the energy in the room? Can I feel how blessed they are? Can I appreciate how talented the musicians are? Do you see what I'm saying? So there's something about making a conscious choice about how to experience something. And yes, control your controllables, move things where you can, but being so present in the now that it's not, we lose power. Power seeps out of us, leaks out of us if we're dwelling on the past, planning, or worrying more like, right, for the future. It's not like we got pen and paper out and go, tomorrow I'm going to do this. Maybe it is. Sometimes I do that. But a lot of it is worry. And worry is like sitting in a rocking chair and you're putting all this energy into rocking, thinking you're going to go somewhere, thinking you're going to end up in town, rocking in that rocking chair. That's the use of worry, nothing. It's just a waste of energy. So if we can redirect that and just only let it be that it informs me where my fears are. It's just raising its hand, going, this is what you're still needing to clear. There's a purpose. We can use it. It's a sign. It's telling us what to clear, and that's okay. I mean, that's good. Sometimes we need to know what the next piece is. So, and then about living in the future. Again, I think we point ourselves in the direction we want to go. We're focused. But I love what that had to say about the fact that if we're dwelling very focused on what energy do I want to feel today? Do I feel energized? This could be a productive day. This is a good time for me to hit those things that I was reluctant to do and be joyful about it. Listening to where your body is. Or am I so worn out that my body is saying, please just sit down for a while? And that be exactly what I need to be doing with no guilt. That being in the now and listening, the ebbs and the flows. The ebbs and the flows are part of the process. We are not meant to be nose to the grindstone all the time. We're not meant to be resting all the time. But to be able to read what your body is doing and what your mind is doing. Sometimes our mind is calling out for that rest just as much as our body is. We do not judge ourselves for laying down at night to go to sleep. We know our body has to have that to survive and to thrive. So do not judge yourself if your emotions need a rest, if your mind needs a rest. That's all part of the deal too. It's all part of the deal. We used to call that having a mental pizza sometimes, because we might be sitting here and thinking about all the things we need to do and, being even diligent in our spirituality, which I get, I totally believe in that. But then sometimes you just need to go watch a crazy show on TV because your mind just needs a break. And that's what it needs. That's the prescription your body, mind, spirit is asking of you. So again, as so much of it simplifies when we say judgment, self-judgment is not helpful, only if it raises its hand and said, that hurt, I'm going to do this instead. If I touch a hot stove, I get burned. The stove is not punishing me. The stove is not telling me I'm bad. The stove is saying, that wasn't good for you, right? So if I do something that hurts me emotionally, can I just go, whoa, whew, I don't want to do that again. Let me get away from that as soon as possible. I don't sit there with my hand on the stove and go, that hurts. Get out of it, right? So, and I've heard it said, when you're in a burning building, don't sit there and go, I wonder how that started. No, get out, then you can figure it out, right? Then you can look back, right? And so that's the point, is that I look at it and go, okay, so come to peace. Let me solve it from that place. Where is the peace in this situation? What is it asking me for? This is a question. If there's a challenge, it's a question. It's saying, what has to happen here? The challenge is a question. And your spirit is equipped today to answer that. Maybe not the whole thing, but to get you started on the right track, to recenter and come from a different place to solve it. We can't, Einstein again, wasn't it, that said you can't solve a problem from the same place where it was created. There has to be a new thought, a new something introduced to it. And this thought occurred to me when I was waking up this morning. I love those. They little things that just drop in. We know that they're from Spirit. And it was, if I were building a flying machine, I don't build it in the basement. Build it where you can see the sky. Build it where you can feel the wind. So if I am planning something and I want to change this inner part of me, I don't stay in that burning building or that sad spot or that place, right? I need to say, how do I bring Spirit into this place and then take a view? You go to your high ground. Go to your high ground and then look at it. So we have to know how we get to our high ground. That's a now thing. I don't have to have the whole thing solved of building the flying machine to find the high ground where I need to do it. Do you see what I'm saying? So step by step by step, how do I get to high ground? Is it reading a book that lifts my spirits? Even a passage that lifts my spirits? Is it hearing beautiful music? Some people have specific songs or pieces of music that are their go-to for peace, for joy, for energizing. My daughters and I had one that was a celebration song. It had nothing to do with celebrating. It was the beat and the energy, and somebody get a good grade, we'd put it on and we'd dance around the living room, It was and then it became, in our minds, that was the celebration song. We choose those things. We give them all the meaning that they have for us. Somebody else could hear it and go, oh, that's a cool song. For us, it's time to celebrate if we hear that song. It's a sign if we hear it in the car and we didn't put it on intentionally, right? Because now we have a new energy around it. These are all choices that we're making, conscious choices. We need to remember we are empowered. This is it, is so often we feel disempowered in life. We see all this stuff going on. We have all this input, especially now with cell phones and TV and media, right? Can we listen to our voice? We forget how to listen to our own voice. We have input 24/7, and we have to learn. We have the finger on the dial. We have the finger on the button to say, oh, it's time for quiet. I need to hear this. Randy likes to tease me because when I really need to listen, I go out in the backyard and I walk around. And he laughs, he teases me, even imitates me, because I'm out there just walking. And that's just my thing. That's where I know I'm not going to be tempted to pick up my phone. I'm not going to be tempted to check in with the TV. I'm not going to be tempted to make a phone call. I am setting aside time to listen. This is my time. A lot of it is just like taking out the trash at first, all those little thoughts that were just rush in because I'm not listening to something else. And then I go, okay, I will give you your due when I get back inside. I'll make my to-do list. But right now I'm doing this. And take control of your mind, your feelings, we have so much more power than we think we do, right here and right now. So it's finding the higher ground. What can I do here and now? Where do I want to go? And there's a whole thing on purpose, which was really another topic, but dovetailing with it, right, is selecting your purpose. But I think that comes and that's refined and comes almost naturally, I shouldn't say almost, comes more naturally out of that place of quiet where you can actually listen, and have your delight bubble up. What sounds fun to you? What lifts your spirit? What makes you laugh even? I can't even tell you how much I believe laughter has enriched my life. Whether it's silliness, amusement, just delight in another person. Sometimes it's not even what they said, it's how they said it, or just the fact that I think they're wonderful. And so to let yourself be delighted by your life. It's all around us all the time. If we have the eyes to see and the willingness, to breathe it out. There's times so much goes on, and if something like kind of trips in my mind and I have a negative thought, I'll go, and I'm breathing it out, so much so that if my daughter is sitting next to me, she'll go, what's wrong? Just if I breathe out, because she knows that's what I do when I'm just trying to let go of that line of thinking and consciously do a reset. It's breathing out, like, nope, I'm not dwelling in that. Let me breathe in. Okay, what's next? What can I do in this moment? We are given this day our daily bread. That means we have what we need for today, right here. First steps, first thoughts, looking into someone's eyes and enjoying that smile, seeing that twinkle. How much do we need that? Do you know when someone looks at you like that and you feel seen, what a gift you are giving them? What a gift you're giving yourself, because you're letting yourself feel the connectedness, which is everything. It is, I enjoy people, so that's always been a thing for me. But more and more and more and more am I getting how important that interconnectedness is. That is in the now. That is in the now. I can say, okay, I'm going to call my sister tomorrow, the next day, whatever, and yeah, maybe. But what if the thought is there because she needs something right now? Or this is the time to call? Maybe it is, and I don't know. But I'm saying, how often does that play out, right? Oh, I was just thinking about you. I really could use an ear. How often does that happen? We all have stories like that. We are so much more interconnected than we think. And that we're meant to use that connection. We are meant to be here to lift each other up. I truly believe that we talk about the omnipresence of God. I believe a big, huge part of that puzzle is that we're given each other. That's part of how God can be everywhere. God can be in the space that you occupy right now. God is in the space you occupy right now. We're little satellites. Part of how God can see everything and understand everyone is because imagine having all the perception, all the perceptions, all the perspective of each individual. to create the whole of the human condition, our human experience. It's mind-boggling. It really is. And yet, in nature, whether we go to the microscopic level or the universal level, the divine order is so obvious, it's mind-boggling. That we don't have to know how it all works for it to work. Right? Thank God. I don't have to know how my liver works for it to work. Thank God. Thank God. Keep doing it. Thank you. Right? And so there's all of this, we somehow think we have to know everything, that somehow at the end of this game we're going to know it all. We're going to know how to control it. Where do we get that concept? I don't know if you have it. I had it. I somehow thought that at some point in life I would know everything. Maybe that came from my parents who jokingly told me they knew everything when I was a child. And yet if I went to my father and said, "What does this mean?" He'd go, "There's an encyclopedia right over there." Now, of course, it would be the internet, right? So anyway, my point being, we have what we need in the now. Empower ourselves. And by empowering ourselves, we energize, we activate this part of us. We have to believe it's possible, and it is. We have to believe that it's possible. And I don't have to do it all today. You know, I'm not going to eat today for everything I'm going to eat in the next month and store it up and then go, well, that was efficient. I'm just not going to eat till next month. It doesn't work that way. We are meant to break things up into manageable pieces. We don't have to know everything for tomorrow. We just have to occupy today. What is here? There's plenty, right? There's plenty here for me to enjoy, for me to love, for me to do, people to see, people to enjoy, things to do to get more right with myself. Because really the fight is the inner one, right? To not have that inner battle between what I think I should be and what I am. Today, can I be at peace right here? And say, I have what I need. The past informs me what I want to continue to do and what I don't want to continue to do. The past informs me, period. Period. My future is not written. It's the unwritten page. Today, can I breathe? Can I love? Can I feel? Can I be at peace? It's a choice. You know, we can beseech God for peace, right? What if we say, God already gave it and said, the buffet's out, right? Can I choose the peace? Can I choose it? Can I be it? Inside, invite it in. And it's not that it's out there, it's just a conscious, right? Just a conscious mental exercise to remember that it's in here. And lately I've been doing this equilibrium thing of saying, yes, beauty is out there and beauty is in here. And can I feel this harmony between these two places? Can I feel that, you know, if I'm feeling disturbed inside, can I look at the beauty and let it, can I remember it's in here too? And if I'm feeling it so much to overflowing, can I remember to share it? Can I remember to pray? Can I remember to lift? Can I remember to call when I'm in that great space and I know I have more to give? Within and without, and this equilibrium. And the times when it's okay to let someone else give. It's supposed to be a cycle. If you never let someone give to you, would you deny them? They're learning to give. So you have to receive graciously. We're here to help each other. I don't know if you remember my story about the turtles where the one flipped over and they all rushed in and flipped. It's like we're all gonna have our time where we're the turtle on our back and let the others come over and flip us over. And each of them is at some point in time gonna have their turn of flailing, but to let the others come in and help us lift. Without judgment, just let it be that it's our time. If we see ourselves connected, it is easier to not judge that we're all in this together. Let's take that into meditation. So let's again just breathe deeply. Right here, right now. We feel the presence of a living, loving God. How wondrous that all of this was created, ourselves included. How wondrous, amazing, and that we're wired to see and feel the beauty. We are wired to love. We are wired to care. How wonderful is that? So giving way to our nature, which maybe our first education told us, oh no, if we let ourselves really go, we would go the wrong way. What if the opposite is true? What if we went with our true nature as we were created to be? A fully empowered, loving, capable individual. Given every day that which we need to sustain our bodies, that which we need to entertain and educate our minds, that which we need to heal our emotions and to go higher and enjoy. All things in balance. When we feel too emotional, we invite the brain back in for some logic to calm it down. When we feel too heady and too cold or scientific about everything, can we invite the emotions back in and say, how do I feel about this? So that there is balance. So there is wisdom. And we breathe. What does it feel like to be me today? Can I look at that with no judgment? You will see more if you fear the answer less. You will fear the answer less if you can offer yourself grace, forgiveness, a clear eye instead of judgment. We are empowered to the degree we allow ourselves to be. Can we make it okay to be in love with life? Forget anyone thinking that wasn't cool somehow. Life is here to be enjoyed. Life is such a gift, precious, precious gift. Breathing in, knowing we're given what we need. We don't have to know how to divide all the different kinds of gases that come in with the oxygen and the nitrogen and this. No. Stilling our mind and making it simple, knowing our body knows what to do with this. We affirm in this time, my body was created of divine intelligence. Thank you, God, that my body knows how to function without my direction. My way of having full gratitude for this is to learn to listen to it so it can tell me what it needs me to adjust for its highest good. My body is depending on me to take care of it, to fill it up, to let it go, to breathe in, to breathe out, to give it rest, to give it play, to give it strength. And my mind craves truth. Am I giving my mind truths on every level as much as I can? My mind craves to know what is real that I need to know. My mind enjoys learning new things. I stay curious. That gives me a lot of life and energy and vitality. And my emotions. Can I feed myself thoughts and feelings and experiences that help me relax and know joy? Can I have my playlist of activities, of people, of music, of ponderings that lift my spirit? Do I love to journal? Let's do that. And again, not to set it up as something to judge. I decide if it's an everyday activity. I decide that. And I can undecide that. Getting rid of the shoulds and picking up the sea of possibilities, the sea of solutions. The challenges are the questions. What answers can I play with and try on? And remember that this is the grand experiment. The grand experiment, nothing more or less. This is the scratch paper, right? The yes, the no, that worked, that didn't. First, do no harm to others, to yourself. And then create that space in which it's okay to try. You are not committed to buying every article of clothing you try on. Try it on, try it out. Is it yours? Does it fit? Set it aside. Choose again, choose again. And your heart sings when it's right for you, when it is yours. And that's an in the now thing. You have to be willing to look and to feel and to learn. It gets simpler the more you let yourself learn. Relaxing, staying curious, being present, the now, allowing the wow of the now to wash over you. And can you feel how much more you're occupying your individuality in this moment? Can you feel that you have expanded by even considering these thoughts? Some you may use, some you may discard. You're tailor-making this for you. We're not all meant to be exactly the same. There would be no point. It would be redundant. And we live in a marvelously ordered universe. God is smart and efficient and gracious and loving. So breathe again these truths into your being. Let this fill you up and settle in. Can you know you are now on higher ground? You can fly yourself. You can build your flying machine. You can gaze at the sky. You are in higher ground by your choice. And we let it be so. Thank you. So from this place of peace, let's take into our hearts all those people that we would pray for in this time. all those ones that we would send this love and this gratitude and this knowledge to. And you can say their names aloud or in your mind, whichever you want. Let's just throw them into this lovely energy. Deja, Susan, Kelsey, Katie, Kate, and know that if there's anyone's name you've left out, they're still in the circle. Your loved ones are drawn into this place, that we see them refilled with all they have need of in this time. Healing on every level happening in the now. Thank you, God. So at this time, if we can say together our celebration of giving. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive, and so it is.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Wonderful. Nothing's impossible, I have found. For when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, and start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip. Be grateful for a pleasant trip and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is done. You may be sick and tired, but you'll be a man, my son. Won't you remember those famous women and men who had to fall to rise again? They picked themselves up, dust themselves off, and started all over again. Yeah. Stephen. Nothing's impossible, I have found. When my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip. Be grateful for a pleasant trip and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is won. You may be sick and tired, but you'll be a woman when you're done. Won't you remember those famous women and men who had to fall to rise again? They picked themselves up, dust themselves off, picked themselves up, start all over again. Pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and start all over again. Start all over again. Start all over again. Yeah. Thank you much.
On that note, it's really easy to say a prayer of gratitude, isn't it? So we're very grateful for all the time, treasure, talent that is in this room and in this center. We thank you for your gifts on every level, and thank you, God, that it keeps flowing. It's only more of it and better of it. And we have some announcements.
Well, you know, this is usually what Kim does, but I'll try my hand at it. I won't do it as good as she does it. The 18th of this month is our membership Sunday. So, if anybody would like to actually become a voting member of this community, we need you to fill out a form. You can contact Kim via email, or you can pick the forms up out here. Just jot down your name and some information, and then we can celebrate the day that you decide to join the church, okay, our little community. We promise you that if you join, we won't put you to work too quick. I decide what quick is. So, depends on your gifts. So what we can glean from what you can do, so is how quick you get put to work. So the next thing is Katie Kate still has a GoFundMe page. It's our understanding this last week that she started chemo, and so she is in need of some help with her recovery at home. So if anybody is available to bring meals, to cook meals, to help her out, it would be very much appreciated. You also contact Kim. You can go to her GoFundMe page if you want to make a contribution, and it will be very much appreciated. Okay?
And Fred,
yes.
There's a sign-up sheet out here for helping her.
Perfect. There's a sign-up sheet out front if you guys want to sign up to go help. Next. Oh, then I have to wing this one. There's nothing on the board. Not yet, Quinn. Not yet. Our musical director, Stefan, has requested that if you have a favorite song that you would like him to play during service, that he would please like you to jot it down. We also have a list for that, and he will so graciously either learn it or wing it. But it will be excellent, whatever it is. Even one day I heard a Metallica song, and I was really shocked that Metallica would fit into church service, but hey, that's okay. Before I go, I would like to give a really special thanks to Tess, my lovely wife, who's been diligently working with Pete and Dia to transform our area in the back. This is largely a labor of love, and it is coming along. We expect to be finished sometime the middle to the end of October, where we'll have some kind of a celebration. But I wanted to give them a special thanks, and especially Pete. Pete is working overtime. For a guy that said he retired, I'll borrow her line, he's retired. So he's worked overtime trying to get this thing right and get it done. So I really appreciate all that they do for the Unity Center to make it what it is today. So thank you.
If you will join with me in saying the vision and mission. We are Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe. We are a thriving global community of spiritual seekers, transforming lives through love and the expression of our innately divine gifts. Our mission is to inspire spiritual and personal growth through the teaching and demonstration of unity principles toward the realization of living our best lives. Divine wisdom is at work in every area of our lives right now. Everything is always working out for us. Thank you.
So, going through this week, going through this day, remember joy. We can feel joy for something in the past, but in the present, joy is today. We can be excited about something for the future, but that excitement is today. So let's live today in our fullness without waiting. Today's the day. This is it. It doesn't get any itter than this. Have a great week.